Two karts are on track. Green flag flies, and we're racing.
This was a close race yesterday, so this could actually be one of the better ones of the day.
Consistently, it's been a two-kart battle all weekend between these guys. The Tag Junior race has been a tough two-kart fight this weekend. And they're racing out there right now. The green flag has flown here in Tag Junior. We see the 2017 of Blair Hosey and your pole winner from yesterday, the 323 of Tyler Oram, as they head down out of turn number 5, now into turn 6. They come back onto Commerce Street. The leader, one lap in, is the 2017 of Blair Hosey, and then followed not that far behind by the 323 of Tyler Oram. You see him come around the turn 7 hairpin right there. Good shot looking up at the courthouse. Artie, I'm sure you've been in a few races where the competition is maybe not plentiful, but it's still talented. What's the philosophy when you're out there with not a whole lot of other go-karts to race? What are you trying to do right now?
You know, like growing up in the regional stuff, there was never really a lot of kids, but we were all so close that it made the racing really good. So sometimes these smaller classes do produce better racing.
Yeah, and I think that's important. It's certainly, I think we would all agree that the saying quality over quantity is applicable to karting. It's applicable to all forms of racing. I'd rather have 3 drivers who are great running nose to tail out there on the track than 20 and they're all spaced out. I think that's fair to say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I can agree with you on that point.
2 laps into this race right now, you see the lead of the 2017 of Blair Hosey as he makes his way into the left-hander turn number 7, setting up for that right-handed hairpin, and then he'll come around to complete another lap. We're now joined by CRG USA's Stacy Cook. Stacy, how you doing today?
Doing good. A little wet.
Little wet?
Yeah.
Little wet or a lot wet?
Well, a little wet right now, but we'll be a lot wet here pretty quick. So.
You know, Artie and I were just talking about a topic that I think is pretty important right now in karting, the lack of an off-season. And if there's anyone who can understand it, it's a team owner like yourself. We really don't have a break anymore in karting. It used to be you'd end in November, you'd have December, January, February off to kind of reboot, clean everything up, swap carts, chassis, whatever, but that doesn't exist anymore.
No, it especially with what we're doing, you know, there is no break. You go, 12 months out of the year, and like right now we're on the road for 7 weeks straight, and it's coast to coast, California all the way to Florida. So it's a bit challenging, and my guys are getting a little grumpy, and from being on the road.
Is that from being on the road or working for you?
Both. Probably working for me is the worst, but other than that,
I've heard that.
Yes.
Yeah, when you talk about what we're doing, you're referring to the CRG USA team. Big news in karting this last offseason. You guys were named the mass distributor for the CRG chassis and product line. There was a big switch with the Tonini Group and CRG out of Italy. They've kind of altered their distribution strategy. What's an explanation on that?
Good question. No, we're it's CRG decided to go a different direction and struck a deal with K1, and so we're now considered a master distributor in the official race team for CRG here in North America, and we're trying to adapt, and K1's trying to adapt, and everybody's just trying to kind of figure out who fits where, and hopefully we can make the brand stronger and the support stronger. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and what I've read from mostly everywhere is that the K1 group, the company famous for their indoor karting tracks, is really trying to branch out into the outdoor karting world. And so they have become the importer, the North American importer for the CRG chassis and product line. And then you guys in Colorado have been tabbed as the master distributor. So all of your dealers, folks like Core Karting and RPM, they go through you to get their chassis and product, and then you guys order them from the warehouse in San Diego where K1 is set up at, and then from you it goes out all over the country. Is that fair to say?
That's right. Yeah, you can, if you're a CRG dealer, you can order either from us or from K1. They both come from the same basic location. We stock and have a huge inventory already. So if we have it in stock, we can ship direct from Colorado or wherever we're on the road, if it's in the race trailer. And then if not, of course, K1's intention is to have a huge inventory and be able to ship direct from California to any dealer in North America. So.
Now, you talked about being on the road so much. You guys were just in Orlando, Florida for 2 weeks back-to-back doing the Florida Winter Tour. A week before those 2 weeks, you were in Phoenix, Arizona at the Challenge of the Americas. So you've gone Phoenix, Orlando. We're here in Lockhart this weekend. And then from here, where do you guys go?
We go to Sonoma, California next weekend for the final round of Challenge of the Americas, which, is a Rotax, the Winter Series on the West Coast. We go there next weekend and then head straight back to Ocala, Florida for 2 weeks there to do the rock weekend and then the final round of the Rotax weekend, and then we head home and of course get ready for the shifter season and the start of the U.S. Open. So.
Right, so the next time you guys, your truck and trailer and your mechanics and drivers are going to really be home and get to slow down is that first week of April, it looks like.
That's right, yeah.
That's a lot of work and scheduling. You got a couple really good drivers under the tent this weekend. Some of your kids have been really fast. Jerry Rhodes, he's not a kid, but he was running really well in that stock Honda heavy race and then had a little bit of bad luck strike. Tough break for him.
Yeah, clipped a hay bale over there and bent his steering shaft, so he's having a little bit of trouble keeping it on the track. And but has driven great all weekend. And with this rain racing, it's a little bit of luck that's got to be on your side. So, he's done terrific, just had a little bad luck in the main event. So,
what does coming to a race, you just talked about being on the road so much. You're at the West Coast Rotax Series, Challenging Americas. You're on the East Coast doing the Florida Winter Tour. Big championship seasons that take 3 months to get done during the winter. What's it like to come to a one-off like this, a street race where points don't matter, there's no championship to win, you're just here to win the race?
It's a lot of fun because really there is no pressure. You come here and it's purely to enjoy racing and the families and what we all originally got into this for, and that's what you see at this particular race. It's just a lot of families and a lot of fun, and you don't have the real serious attitude that you do at the national level when there's a national championship on the line. So it takes some of the pressure off, and people have a tendency to just be here for the pure enjoyment of karting. So we like that. And a lot of fun, and of course the Lockhart track is a great layout. And unfortunately for the rain this year, puts a little kink in things, but everybody seems to be doing really well and dealing with it. So.
Yeah, CRG USA has been at all three of the Lockhart Lone Star Grand Prix. You guys were here in 2013. Sabra Cook drove to a 5th place finish in Stock Honda Light that year, I want to say. And then she was here last year. I don't think you guys podiumed in 4th place last year in 2014. And she's not here this weekend, unfortunately, although she was popping up on the scoring monitor yesterday during qualifying. Even when she's not here, she's here.
She's here, yeah. Yeah, we loaned her transponder, another driver, and so.
Where can people who are interested in joining CRG USA or learning a little bit more about your team go?
Probably the best way is just contact us at CRG USA and Facebook, social media. We're all over, so you can go on Facebook, crgusa.com, and you'll catch us there, or our website, crg-usa.com. So.
Okay. Well, awesome, Stacy. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got to check back in with this exciting 2-kart tag junior race we're watching right now.
Thank you, guys. Great job this weekend.
Thank you for stopping by, Stacy. Good luck to you and your team rest of the weekend.
Bye-bye.
Stacy Cook from CRG USA stopping by to talk to us. We're hoping to get Stephen Flatt in the booth here in a moment, one of our stock Honda Masters drivers. We check back in here with this tag junior race. There you see Blair Hosey, fast lap, 54.909. The 27T-year leader currently has a 29-second lead over second-place driver Tyler Oram. As this race continues, we've got about 8 laps still to go here in Tag Junior. Coming up next, we've got our Chonda drivers. We just wrapped up with Stock Honda Masters. Chris Jennings scoring the win in that class. We're lucky enough to be joined with Mr. Stephen Flatt. Stephen, how you doing today, buddy?
Tony, I'm doing well.
You can take a seat if you'd like.
Well, thank you very much.
That seat's dry.
I feel like I'm taking my life into my own hands getting on this mic with you.
Well, believe me, after Friday night, my reputation is no longer a solid one. I don't think it was to begin with, but whatever you did certainly helped it continue to decline.
You made that funny comment, didn't you?
Rumors are just absolutely widespread. I have no idea.
When you come to a small town like this, word spreads when you're in a small town like Lockhart, Texas.
Especially when you've got a PA that goes through a nice quiet downtown. That's awesome.
Yeah, when everyone in this town can hear what one man has to say, it certainly tips the scale in someone's favor, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that might work.
I think it did work.
It was I heard it. I was interested. It was an interesting conversation or comment. So.
Well, I was here helping build the track Friday night, mostly watching everybody else build it, but I was receiving questions for the next several hours on things like my clothing choice and my personal preferences. So, yeah, it worked.
Well deserved. Well deserved. Good to see you, Tony.
Well, great to see you. We're going to quit talking about something that nobody else gets what we're talking about right now, and we're going to talk about how you are doing, and more importantly, how you were doing. You were running really well up inside the top 5 in Stock Honda Masters. Probably not your favorite thing to talk about right now. What happened over there?
I'll start off by saying it was one heck of a lot of fun out there. it is absolutely a blast to run these things in the rain. MG does a great job on their tires. We had lots of good grip, and we had lots of good grip except for one corner for me, and I think I'm just going to blame it on my age at this point. Went a little bit, lost my mind, and hit the ground of the street, and it was just a lazy spin, and lost a couple spots. And, kicking myself for it now, and it's a lesson learned. So we get him again next time, and gosh, this is 2 years in a row with the rain, and just a heck of a lot of fun. So we should make this the Lone Star Rain Prix, and I'm okay with that because we have a ball with it. So it's a great time.
Well, it's good to hear you have fun in the rain. You're out of the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Yes, sir.
Do you get a lot of time to practice in conditions like this back at home?
No, and amazingly enough, this sprint racing, which is as close as anything to the street race, that's not my forte. I'm usually a road racer.
Right.
So I think I run, maybe 2 or 3 sprint races a year. So throw in street conditions, throw in rain. I was super happy with how the weekend went. Normally I'm a back of the pack kind of guy, so it was nice to be able to see the pole sitter from where I started. So that was great.
Have some respect. You're a middle of the pack guy most weekends.
Oh, right. Thanks.
Let's not go with this back of the pack stuff.
All right, fair enough. But it was nice to be able to see Chris Jennings, at least for the start. After he disappeared around 1 or 2 turns, I don't think any of us saw him after that. But
you're on a DR cart. He's on a DR cart. He's freaky fast though.
He is freaky fast. It's all those subs that he's making there at Jimmy John's. So he is freaky fast, and anything he drives always has been just an absolute class act. And congratulations out to Chris and his dad John, who tunes for him. Who's just you can't find 2 nicer people out there.
Yeah, they really had a great 2014 running double duty at Vegas in S2 and S4. He podiums in both classes.
You bet.
But let's not talk about your crush on Chris Jennings anymore. I want to switch gears a little bit to Rob Miller. He's a good friend of yours, the promoter of this event. What does a street race like this mean for karting, and why do you come out and support these races every year?
Well, it's just Rob does an amazing job. He's an amazing guy, but he puts his heart and soul into this. You look around on Friday night and you see everybody working, except for you, who's watching.
Right.
But you see everybody out there working and eating a lot. But you see everybody putting a lot of man hours into this thing, and he pours his heart and soul into it for no other reason than to promote the sport of karting and to get spectators out here to look. He just does an amazing job. So huge shout out to Rob Miller. I had to look through the tent to make sure he wasn't standing over my shoulder because.
Well, you didn't say anything mean about him.
No, not yet. Not yet. We still have some mic time going. So.
Yeah, we sure do. This tag junior race coming to a close. We still have 4 laps to go. Blair Hosey goes purple, meaning fastest driver on the track, 54.704. Tyler Oram running in that second position, laying down laps in the 57-second bracket. Where else will you be racing this year, Stephen? What's the rest of 2015 look like for you?
Going to do some WK road races. I think coming up in 2 weeks, we've got Roebling Road in Savannah.
Okay.
Then we're going to do the SCUSA Pro Tour and huge. I'd be remiss. I got to give a huge shout out to Brian Fisher and Fisher Racing Engines. If you can take an old, overweight guy like me and make me pretty fast, that's saying a lot about the power he puts into his engines. So huge shout out. Thanks, Brian, for all your power. Even though I didn't really use it all that much. See, that's why I spun.
You used
too much
it.
power.
Yeah, you used
too much power
to spin you right around.
Brian, I gotta have you slow me down just a little bit, but
tune it back.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the Pro Tour ending up in Vegas. It's a Supernats, so I think we've got 4 or 5 more road races to go. So we'll be pretty busy, and that with the professional world. I see Rick Folks out here. Rick, huge shout out to you, man. Great job with the race directing. He does a tremendous job as well. So.
Old Papa Smurf there can't hear us right now.
No, and that's probably best because we can probably say bad things about him too.
He sees us looking at him. Maybe he knows we're talking about him. Yeah. but seriously, in all seriousness, Stephen, Rick, and all the track staff here, guys like Bob Schabel, the chief starter, Matt Ackley, your head flagger right here in front of us. All these guys are out there braving the conditions. Madeline Egger out there on the grid. They're all doing such a great job working in these rough conditions. Rick's hitting us right now, but we're being honest.
No, absolutely so. And abuse. I'm taking some abuse here, but all the corner
he's out
workers
there risking breaking a hip or something out there in his
and you know what happens once the hip goes, it's all downhill from there. So.
All right, so Rick Folks, and Rick Folks.
Yeah. Has anybody heard about Rick Folks?
Oh, we got a spin right there.
Oh, no.
That looks like the 323 of Tyler Oram. He was running in second. I think he's going to stay in that position, so he's going to get back going here.
I hate to say it, but he might have taken some driving lessons from me. So
Money wasted.
I know it. Probably shouldn't have done that. So,
But we're talking about the officials and how much hard work they're putting in.
The
being out
corner
here in these
workers.
conditions. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about these corner workers are quick on the flags. They're quick to get carts out of the way, which is especially important in the rain because we're sliding all over the place anyways on our own.
And in a narrow street course
In a
environment.
Narrow blind street course.
With the tall barriers and the hay bales, there's not much room for error. So they do a great job, and I can't speak highly enough. This is one of the best events in karting, in my opinion, that I've been to at least. And if you're listening out there and you're thinking about whether or not to come, if next year I can tell you some of the best barbecue you'll ever have.
Oh yeah.
Come for the barbecue, stay for the racing.
Oh yeah, come for the barbecue, stay for the racing, and you know what? Maybe we'll go three in a row with rain. So bring some rain tires because it's a heck of a lot of fun. And even if it's dry, we have a lot of fun regardless out here. And please come and join us. You will not find a better group of people to race with. I can promise you that.
Oh yeah, 2013 in the dry here was such fun.
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce weather back in 2013, and in the dry, this place races incredibly well. In the rain, going backwards, probably in the dark, upside down, it doesn't matter. If
bet.
you're in Lockhart, Texas, you're going to have a good time. We check back in here on the final lap with our leader, the 2017 of Blair Hosey. He went purple last time by 54.470. That's a great lap. Coming out of the final corner, your tag junior winner, Blair Hosey, scores the win, and Tyler Oram yet to cross the finish line. But I think it's a safe bet to say Oram comes home in the second position. Steven, how about that race there?
That was really good. These guys are really good. We saw some good car control. We saw the one spin, but that happens to all of us from time to time, and that'll be a good lesson learned for him as well as it was for me. So I know what he's feeling right about now.
Well, Steven, thank you so much for taking time
you
out
bet.
of your busy schedule. I know you were getting hounded for autographs. You,
No.
Your beautiful umbrella girl is even waiting for you still, I think. She was carrying an umbrella for you.
Is she not the best? I tell you, I'm a lucky man. She shares my passion. She supports me. Huge shout out to the wife, Lynette. I know you're out there somewhere.
I don't know
And-
what you're paying her.
Hey, that's undisclosed, but I'm sure it's not enough. So I do have one other thing I wanted to mention: the
Yes, sir.
spectators that have come out.
Absolutely.
The town of Lockhart, the way they support this race is phenomenal. So if you're out there and you're hearing the spectators, we love putting on a show for you. We love to see you around the track when we get glimpses going into turns. Maybe that's what caused my mishap. But, you guys are out here and supporting this race and letting us tear up your town for a few days. And so thanks to the city of Lockhart. Thanks, everybody. And Tony, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Steven Flatt, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stock Honda Masters racer Steven Flatt out of the Atlanta, GA area. We're going to stop by and get some Chick-fil-A on the way back home, I think. Steven, thanks a bunch, buddy. Have fun. Hopefully we'll see you later tonight. Steven's a pretty cool guy already, don't you think?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I liked his comment on Friday. That makes me like him a lot more.
Yeah, I didn't like his comments so much, but he's still an okay guy.
You're the only one that didn't like it, so deal with it.
I will deal with it. You know what I'm going to deal with also is the fact that we're about to have some great racing hit the track right now. It is our Chonda group, the 4-stroke, high horsepower Chonda drivers rolling out right now. This is going to be a really good race. We saw Sean Ross hold off Joe Senna for the win yesterday. George Hipsher is going to roll off third as you see him pull out onto the track right there. Our Chonda Heavy and Chonda Light. It's a combined field of go-karts. I think when it's all said and done, we're going to have maybe over 30 karts on the track for this Chonda race. Let's see, 32 have entered. I don't think all made the grid. They're being shown that one lap wave around here. Steven Flatt, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Good time. Good luck packing up the trailer as we get ready for this Chonda race. Sean Ross, your pole sitter. Joe Senna rolling off in second. George Hipsher is going to start on the inside, row number 2 in third. Tommy Muth in fourth. Joseph Smith is going to start fifth, alongside Adam Kelly in sixth. The rest of the top 10 sees Michael Ray, Patrick Melton, Robert Schneider, and Nathan Wilkins. Chonda Heavy and Chonda Light making their way around the courthouse right now, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm wondering if these heavy guys maybe have a slight advantage for the extra weight. I don't know.
In the rain, getting that cart to sit down and press down into the pavement as hard as it can, the advantage is going to go to the heavier guys.
It's Tommy. Sorry. Go ahead, Artie.
It's interesting to see all the different containers guys are using to cover their air filter.
Yeah.
I saw a couple water bottles. I saw a couple
Milk jugs.
Milk jugs. It's interesting to see what they use.
It's always fun seeing the contraptions these people can make.
Yeah, setting up the cart for the rain, you got to do all kinds of things. You got to cover the air box.
There's a pitcher.
Hey.
I think, what is it? Who's starting in second?
That looks
Joe,
like a,
Joe Senna. It looks like he has a lemonade pitcher on it.
yeah, it
With a
sure
whole
does. The 7 right there of Sean Ross is going to bring him down. Green flag flies, and we're racing. Good start for your leader and pole sitter, Sean Ross, as he leads him down. Pretty clean start through turn 3. We haven't seen a lot of bumping and banging or anybody going off down there.
Yeah, there's been some impressive starts here in the rain.
Yeah, I really am. Turn 1 was the right-hander at the end of Commerce Street last year, there was a little bit more contact, and you were going uphill, up that street off Commerce, and the street they're going down right now. So maybe the flip in the direction is encouraging some cleaner racing off the green flag.
Look, they're 3 wide there with all that spray.
Well,
get a little close.
and before they had some speed going into that first corner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
There's-
one of Patrick Melton slid wide on the exit of turn 6 right there, but he's able to keep it out of the barriers. And more importantly, the hay bales. What's worse to hit, a barrier or a hay bale?
hay bale. Well,
It depends on the speed.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how hard you
You can
hit.
survive. Yeah, you can survive a barrier, but you cannot survive a hay bale. That
Well,
thing-
and just to be fair,
that thing will eat you
the
up.
cart is what we're talking about in referring to surviving. Most of the drivers are going to survive if they hit a hay bale.
we
Looks
must
like
have
one of
some.
our cameras got hit.
We must have some carts into the barriers in two,
We're out here in the Wild West, guys. Cameras aren't even safe.
especially on the outside of a corner on a wet track.
Yeah.
My mother always told me not to stand on the outside corner of a wet racetrack growing up. And she told me not to come home a lot. So, mixed messages there. 1 lap into this Chonda heavy, Chonda light race. Sean Ross, your pole sitter, using that inside front row starting spot to his advantages. He has an early lead here. We're going to see what the gap is this time by. Last time, it was half a second. Tommy Muth trying to get around the 25
look.
of Joe Senna. That's the fight for second.
Oh, Tommy.
Right as you start to talk about him, he spins out.
Same spot as yesterday, I think.
Just a little bit earlier today than yesterday. He spun on the exit of turn 8, the hairpin.
Oh, okay.
And he spun on the exit of turn 7, that left-hander today. So Tommy Muth having a hard time keeping that cart underneath him here 2 laps in.
He's still going though, 6th.
Yeah, he was able to pull in the clutch.
Still 16 laps.
Yeah.
Pulling the clutch.
Yeah, he got that Chonda wound up, and it did not die on him, thankfully. He is still racing, but he's going to fall from racing it for the 3rd position. He rebounds to 6th place, so really not a bad run for him.
That's
Joe Senna
Senna's getting challenged.
right there for 2nd place by who's that? The 11 of George Hipsher. It looks like Hipsher or Smith is giving Senna a run for his money as they head down into turn number 6. That's the fight for 2nd on the track. Oh, Senna's on the inside as they come out of 6th. That's the 11.
Do we have an 11 and a .11?
Well, that'd be
Am I seeing-
confusing.
am I
Oh,
seeing
look
that
at this,
correctly?
guys.
3 wide heading down into turn 7.
There is 3 wide
Wow.
for 3rd.
Nathan Wilkins throwing it down. He takes 3rd away.
Joe Senna gets the short end of the stick on that one.
I said it last weekend, Johnny, when we were in Orlando, but it's fair to say here in Lockhart, are we in Lockhart, Texas, or Daytona, Florida? Because they're 3 wide here.
We do have 2 number 11s
We
out
do.
there right now.
That there is. There's an 11 George Hipsher and a .11 Joseph Smith.
Man, and I can't see the
The
point.
decimal
Yeah.
on the number plates.
Well, Hipsher's in the Intrepid, so
Okay, that helps out.
That helps a lot.
Sean Ross is
Look
on
at
the
that
DR cart.
lead. Sean Ross has a pretty healthy lead right now.
4.6
Yeah.
seconds was the gap from 1st to 2nd. Last time by at the line. 18-lap main event on the track right now for these guys. There you see Sean Ross in the number 7 DR card. He comes out at turn number 6. He's your leader as he's going to fly by Henry's on the inside of the track. And then there's the Intrepid, the number 11 cart of George Hipsher, followed closely by the 21 of Nathan Wilkins. And then not too far behind them,
That was a great start by Wilkins, too. He started 10th.
he did really well.
hey, he's our guy from last night, remember? Yesterday's heat races were like, watch number 10th place, Nathan Wilkins.
Oh,
You're
that's
right.
him.
You're right. Nathan Wilkins must
Even
have
in
gone
the
back
rain.
and watched the broadcast and said, these guys are counting on me. I
We
got to
are.
make them look good.
We completely forgot. I can't believe I did that.
Good thing you have better short-term memory than I do.
He was flying that race yesterday. He must
Oh,
have had
yeah.
problems in qualifying because he was way too fast to be in 10th place.
Sean Ross looking really good on the exit of turn number 4, set up for the left-hander. Turn 5, slides wide, keeps it out of the barriers. Down the back straightaway, set up for that fast left-hander, turn number 6. I got to imagine these Chondas, Artie, even though we're in slick conditions, I think in the dry you got to be flat-foot in that corner, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, you would think. I don't know. But, yeah, it's a fast turn, and that drop-off in that turn is huge.
There you see a good shot of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there. It's the 11 of Hipsher, the 21 of Wilkins, the .11 of Smith, and then in 5th place, Joseph Smith. I've never heard of a point anything in karting unless we're talking about lap times. But Joseph Smith has gone ahead and thrown a decimal point in front of his number. I've seen X's, I've seen letters, I've seen everything, but I've never seen a decimal point.
Thinking outside the box.
1.1 would be an interesting number for next year. Like turn 5.5. That was a turn.
It was.
That was a fun turn.
5.5 was a fun turn.
Infamous.
It's
turn.
infamous for sure.
Yeah,
There's
there
no
you go.
5.5s here this weekend, and I think we're all pretty happy about that. This battle for second, third, fourth, fifth, they've all kind of stretched out a little bit. Hipsher still runs second. The gap is 6 seconds from Ross back to Hipsher, but I'm sure pretty soon it's going to be 8 seconds. There you see Hipsher, Wilkins, Smith, and Senna, your top 5, and then behind them, working on his airbox, you see the number 8 of Tommy Muth. Todd Master.
Wilkins.
Wilkins
no.
slides wide. He makes hard contact with the barrier. He does not look good.
He did.
He put his left hand up to signify that he's mostly okay, but his right side doesn't look great. So Nathan Wilkins sliding wide in that number 21 cart.
Oh, red flag.
We're going to go to a red flag condition
He hit
here
that
on the
hard.
track. Yeah, he really did make solid contact with that barrier. So hopefully Nathan Wilkins okay.
Oh,
And red flag, couple carts locking up the brakes and sliding here on the start-finish straightaway.
Yeah,
Matt Ackley defending that driver.
Some people slam on the brakes and they don't know what to do behind them.
Exactly. Yeah, the best move in a red flag situation, I think both of you would agree, is to throw your right hand up in the air and to come to a slow stop
Yeah.
on the inside of the track.
Yep.
There you see Tommy Muth, and it looks like Donnie Cluck in the number 3 cart right there.
Donnie's running 2 classes.
Oh, Donnie's running every class, Artie. Except this one. I'm probably wrong. I do that a lot. Yeah, Donnie Cluck's not in this race. So somewhere in the paddock, Donnie Cluck's hearing his name called. Don't worry, Donnie. It's not supper time yet. We just thought you were on track. So red flag conditions. We're going to go ahead and find out what's going on here with Nathan Wilkins.
Hopefully Nathan's okay.
Yeah, I know. He was so fast too. I feel terrible for him. But you are actually, I feel terrible for also is Sean Ross. Had that big lead. Now it's not.
Now they're going to have to
They're
start.
going to be right on his tail going to the restart.
So they bring the field of Chonda drivers to the stop here just past the start-finish line here before the entrance of turn number 1 as you see the courthouse. We're going to go ahead and do some research and find out why we are under that red flag. So stick with us, folks. Again, this is live coverage of the 2015 Lone Star Grand Prix here on the Kart Racing Network. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live to the world, the Kart Racing Network.
The man, the legend, now the only automotive technician training endorsed by Carroll Shelby himself, the Carroll Shelby Automotive Technology and Performance Academy at Northeast Texas Community College, offering a state-of-the-art training facility for ambitious students seeking a career in the automotive technology field. Start your engines.
If you were to ask 100 racers in the paddock to identify karting's most prominent injury, what do you think it would be? If you said anything to do with their ribs, you'd be right. The incredible performance and cornering capabilities of the modern-day kart put huge stress on a driver's rib cage, and that's why the RibTech driver safety system might be the best money you'll ever spend on your karting program. RibTech owner and product designer Robbie Mott is a racer himself with countless wins and championships on his resume. Robbie's relentless work in improving his line of products has resulted in a system that is unparalleled in ribcage protection. The RibTech 3 is where protection begins. The newest edition of the RibTech Rib Protector is an upgraded version of the RibTech 2, featuring a new and improved outer panel to flex around the driver for better protection and comfort. The new RibTech 3 vest is built stronger and designed to last longer, all aimed at keeping you safe in the driver's seat to enjoy the sport you love. Check out all of the RibTech products at ribtech.com. RibTech, all race, no pain.
Broadcasting live to the world, the Kart Racing Network.
The man, the legend. Now, the only automotive technician training endorsed by Carroll Shelby himself, the Carroll Shelby Automotive Technology and Performance Academy at Northeast Texas Community College, offering a state-of-the-art training facility for ambitious students seeking a career in the automotive technology field. Start your engines.
If you were to ask 100 racers in the paddock to identify karting's most prominent injury, what do you think it would be? If you said anything to do with their ribs, you'd be right. The incredible performance and cornering capabilities of the modern-day kart put huge stress on a driver's rib cage, and that's why the RibTech driver safety system might be the best money you'll ever spend on your karting program. RibTech owner and product designer Robbie Mott is a racer himself with countless wins and championships on his resume. Robbie's relentless work in improving his line of products has resulted in a system that is unparalleled in ribcage protection. The RibTech 3 is where protection begins. The newest edition of the RibTech Rib Protector is an upgraded version of the RibTech 2, featuring a new and improved outer panel to flex around the driver for better protection and comfort. The new RibTech 3 vest is built stronger and designed to last longer, all aimed at keeping you safe in the driver's seat to enjoy the sport you love. Check out all of the RibTech products at ribtech.com. RibTech, all race, no pain.
Broadcasting live to the world, the Kart Racing Network.
The man, the legend. Now, the only automotive technician training endorsed by Carroll Shelby himself, the Carroll Shelby Automotive Technology and Performance Academy at Northeast Texas Community College, offering a state-of-the-art training facility for ambitious students seeking a career in the automotive technology field. Start your engines.
If you were to ask 100 racers in the paddock to identify karting's most prominent injury, what do you think it would be? If you said anything to do with their ribs, you'd be right. The incredible performance and cornering capabilities of the modern-day kart put huge stress on a driver's rib cage, and that's why the RibTech driver safety system might be the best money you'll ever spend on your karting program. RibTech owner and product designer Robbie Mott is a racer himself with countless wins and championships on his resume. Robbie's relentless work in improving his line of products has resulted in a system that is unparalleled in ribcage protection. The RibTech 3 is where protection begins. The newest edition of the RibTech Rib Protector is an upgraded version of the RibTech 2, featuring a new and improved outer panel to flex around the driver for better protection and comfort. The new RibTech 3 vest is built stronger and designed to last longer, all aimed at keeping you safe in the driver's seat to enjoy the sport you love. Check out all of the RibTech products at ribtech.com. RibTech, all race, no pain.
Have yet to do anything.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lockhart, Texas, on the other side of this red flag during the Chonda heavy race. The driver involved in that accident looks like the number 21 of Nathan Wilkins. We talked to Rob and a couple of the folks over there. Sounded like complaining of pain in his right ribs. They did call the ambulance down onto the track to take a look at him. So we're going to hope to hear a good word on him a little bit later, but the important news is he was up, he was walking around, and everything was okay. So we're getting ready to go back racing. 5 laps in to this Chonda Heavy, Chonda Light combined race. We're now joined by Chris Jennings, and we're going to be talking to Chris and get ready to call the start of this race here. But Chris, you just picked up a very impressive win in that stock Honda Masters race. Tell me about the race.
It was a really good race. Went out there, I just went as hard as I could in the beginning just because I wanted to make sure I could get a gap out there, and if I needed to, I could manage it because I figured we'd run into some lap traffic, and it pretty much did. And, you know, halfway through the race, it started to rain a little more, and as I caught lap traffic, visibility got really, really bad, and my rain X didn't work very well, so I was pretty much not seeing anything and almost went off the old turn 1 in the back section just because I couldn't see the braking zone anymore. So I kind of started playing with the visor, cracking it, wiping it a lot, and I ended up kind of like tilting my head up and looking through the very bottom part of it to see the best. But for this next race, I decided to found the old helicopter I had, the old spinner thing.
See, Johnny was
we were talking about that. Yeah,
I've never seen one. You're gonna wear that to the model race?
So I hope it works.
I've never seen one. I'm excited to see it. I've never seen them.
Yeah, they're cool.
Johnny was talking about them.
Yeah, I used to use it like 8 years ago when I ran ICC back at the start of karting, and it worked well. I don't know why I stopped using it at whatever point, but I'm hoping that solved my problem today.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. That's going to be awesome. I want to ask you a question here as we get ready to go back. Have we gotten the green flag?
We are going green. I don't know where we went green at, though.
I think it was the first lap.
Right
first
away?
time around, they went
I
green.
think they must have come back around and gotten the green flag here to this Chonda heavy, Chonda light race again after that red flag on lap 5 for Nathan Wilkins. Sean Ross still out in front. Fast lap that time by 58.449. Fewer leader than Joe Senna right there on the 25, runs second. Joseph Smith in the 11, Intrepid behind him. Technically he's the .11. And then Tommy Muth is right behind him. And then rounding out your top 5, it's probably going to be the 11 of George Hipsher. No point in front of his number. Tommy Muth already trying to work his way back up after that spin.
Yeah, he had that spin early on in the race. Hopefully he can come back.
Yeah, he looks good right now.
Yep.
Chris, talking about your sponsor during the races you ran yesterday and today, how much do you credit your speed to the freaky fast product of Jimmy John's sandwiches?
Well, I guess I feel like I have to live up to that name because if I don't, kind of be bad to be sitting in the back of the pack or mid-pack with a freaky fast. I'll probably catch some flack for that. So it kind of, I guess that motivates me a little bit too to make sure I can be fast. But I mean, you know, even the atmosphere at Jimmy John's itself is about really being freaky fast. What we do 30-second sandwiches, if you've been there and you've seen what it's like. So it's kind of a mentality as well. Is not only when I'm at work, you know, or racing, I'm at work. I'm thinking about being fast, and I don't know if it helps, maybe a little bit mentally, but I'm always kind of in that mode. So.
Tommy Muth is trying to get up into the third position around the 11 of George Hipsher. There he goes in the hairpin. Muth is going to pick up the third position as they come by to complete another lap here in this Chonda heavy, Chonda light race. Did this just turn into a shameless sponsor plug for Jimmy John's?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
You're very good at that.
Well, I try.
You brought it up, Tony.
That's
fair
true.
enough.
Me and my little brother, Brady Yeager, we love Jimmy John's, and we go there a couple times a week. So, it's our favorite place.
I've been doing it for 6 years, and I still eat a sandwich almost every day. Yeah. So I'm not tired of it. It's good stuff.
I think what Artie's saying is we'd really like it if maybe after this 125 mod race you would
put the call in.
It might take a while to get them here from Dallas, but
if they're freaky fast, then I don't think it should.
Maybe some coupons.
If they're as fast as you say they are. I mean, Dallas is what, 4 hours away?
Yeah, that's about right.
Well, if it's a 30-second sandwich, I think 5 minutes and 30 seconds is what we should be looking at. Sandwiches.
I hope you tip my driver really well.
I mean, if he's got a cool race suit on like you, maybe we will. A really good run there in that stock Honda heavy race, though. What's the plan for this 125 mod deal?
Same thing. I'm going to go out there and just try to drive hard from the start. I've got a little bit of advantage having driven it, raced it, and I kind of know what's going on out there in the layout.
Is it the same kart?
Same kart, no difference. No, all we did was change tires and add fuel.
Is that CR125 engine on it?
Yep, stock Honda, same stock motor that's running the heavy class. So we've got a couple of KZ motors out there we're having a race, but in the rain it's not going to matter quite so much, so it should be a pretty good race.
The last thing I really want to ask you about as we continue to watch this race right here in this Chonda battle, what's it like battling? You had some difficulty getting on the lap traffic, it looked like.
Yeah.
And what's funny to me is that some of these older guys in stock Honda Masters, the class you just won, I would expect them to be a little bit easier to negotiate when it comes to putting them a lap down and getting on the lap traffic. Then in this 125 mod race, you're going to be one of the older guys. So I guess what I'm asking is, what's the difference in racing in 125 mod with younger kids to the stock Honda Masters with guys more your age?
I mean, it's a mix either way. I mean, I see a lot of diversity in both classes, and it's not, once you kind of catch lap traffic, it's kind of the same story, whether it's in either class. I mean, it's hard to get around, especially in the rain. And there are some younger guys that have some decent experience, and there's younger guys that don't, especially in the rain. So it's just really going to come down to who has some rain experience, and they're going to be safe and careful out there and letting you come around.
Yeah. Well, Chris, you negotiated the lap traffic very well. You had a great start, which is what put you out so far in front. Great job, man. Thank you so much for coming by and talking to us.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Chris Jennings, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that Jimmy John's DR Kart, your winner here in Stock Honda Masters by an impressive margin of victory. Look for him coming up next in that 125 mod race. It's going to be a good one. Sean Ross continues to lead here in Chonda. You saw Todd Masters spin on the exit of turn 7 not too long ago, and it looks like Tommy Muth has got some serious issues.
He spun in turn number 2, just this same lap he's on. I think he dropped 2 positions.
So Tommy Muth down there working on the right side of that cart. Yeah, you see him right there yanking on something. We're not sure exactly what's going on, but he's falling down the order. He's 4th right now. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next.
I think he dropped. Oh, he didn't. He's still 4th.
He's still running 4th right now, and then there's your leader, the number 7 of Sean Ross. 2nd is still Joe Senna up from Minnesota. George Hipsher, Tommy Muth running 4th, Robert Schneider. It's so hard not to say Minnesota when I say that state. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who struggles with that. What?
I live right below it, so I'm used to
How do you say it?
Minnesota.
I'm friends with Chris Enderline from the Ocala Grand Prix,
yes.
River Lake Racing up there in the north part of the country, and he always says, "Oh, I'm from Minnesota." Sean Ross is leading the driver from Minnesota right now, but Joe Senna does go green. His fast lap of the race, a 58.930. There you see him coming around the turn 8 hairpin down to the left-hander, turn number 9. 3 laps to go this time by for your leader, Sean Ross. He looks really good out there right now, Johnny.
He does. He's been the most consistent guy here. He's really the only guy in the 58s as well. So it's.
What do you think Tommy Muth could have been working on? Because he was driving by, and it looked like his left arm was down working on something. I can't think of what would be on the left-hand side. Brake?
His brake or something's loose because it looked like he was spinning it.
Yeah, the brake reservoir
Yeah.
is right there on the left side of the car where the brake pedal lines up with. So maybe brake pressure issues? Maybe he's adjusting the bias from front to rear braking.
Maybe maybe it's not self-adjusting brakes. Maybe he has the knob little on the rock.
Maybe the e-brake. Maybe he's yanking the e-brake to slide around these corners a little bit.
These carts do not have front brakes for people watching back home or in the stands that aren't aware. They only have one disc in the rear left corner of the cart. So there is no bias.
And now he's starting to look over on the right side of the cart and back at the engine.
Maybe it's his suit.
Yeah, maybe his suit's having problems.
I've heard of guys' suits getting caught full throttle on the throttle cable.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be the issue right now.
No.
And he goes back to work on the left side. All I can think about is brake pressure has got to be the issue as they come by to see 2 laps to go. Ross continues to lead. Senna in 2nd. George Hipsher 3rd. Tommy Muth in 4th. Robert Schneider 5th. Todd Masters spun a few laps ago, but he's rebounded well as he runs 6th. Joseph Smith has fallen all the way to 7th as we see a battle right there. It's the 33 of Robert Schneider passing your screen right now. Behind him, it's the 3 of Todd Master. Joseph Smith runs 2nd. Gene Mayo, quickest lap of his, just got laid down in 8th place. Larry Skloss in 9th. Adam Kelly in 10th. John Morris runs 12th after getting passed by Norman Mankrains. John Morris 13th, Patrick Melton 14th, and Ron Griffith rounds out your top 15 here as we're going to come down to see the white flag this time by. We're looking for Sean Ross. There it is. 1 lap to go for your leader, Sean Ross. And then good fights going on right here as we see the 33 of Robert Schneider, the 13. Who's that getting put a lap down? Ron Griffith. There you see the 33 again, Robert Schneider. Todd Master right behind him. Then behind Master, you see Joseph Smith and Gene Mayo. There's Tommy Muth in that number 8 cart going through the turn 2 kink. Muth trying to get around the 11 of George Hipsher. This is a good fight for 3rd right here, guys.
Might be a battle for 3rd.
Yeah, this is the last step on the podium right here. They come out of 4, now heading for 5. Muth took a really narrow line.
He's thinking about it.
He's right there on the back of Hipsher.
He's looking to the inside.
He pulls out to the inside. Muth looking for Hipsher. We cut back to our leader, Sean Ross, as he's going to head around the hairpin one last time. He's going to come out to see the checkered flag waving, looking over his left shoulder. There's no one behind him. Your winner in Chonda, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Ross.